bummy today. You was bony and looking too funny today. I don't care, nigga still make change. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Chatting with Cheeze podcast. I'm your host, Fat Cheeze, and y'all already know the motto: no gimmicks, only the real. This is episode 40. 40 episodes in. That's crazy to me. Like, when I first started this podcast, you wouldn't have probably been able to tell me I was going to make 5 episodes, let alone 40. You know what I'm saying? But we here. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in with me, rocking with me throughout this whole podcast journey. Y'all know I tell y'all all the time, but I just got to keep reiterating it, man. Those of y'all that be giving me y'all feedback and letting me know what y'all think and just all around supporting, man. Shout out to y'all, and I appreciate y'all. Just keep rocking with me, and let's keep growing this thing. Y'all know what I need from y'all. Keep smashing that subscribe button. We on our way to 300 subscribers. Also, do not forget to like and share the content and follow me on all social media platforms. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So on Sunday, Staley and the South Carolina Lady Gamecocks punched their ticket to their 5th straight Final Four after defeating the Duke Blue Devils in the Elite Eight 54-50. South Carolina has been tested at various points throughout the NCAA tournament, but its biggest came with 29.8 seconds left against Duke in the Elite Eight on Sunday, clinging to a 2-point lead. Veteran Breece Hall was whistled for an offensive foul, sending Ashlon Jackson sprawling to the floor. Hall says she was ready to have a meltdown, infuriated the call went against her. Assistant coach Mari Woolley calmed Hall down, reminding her she had a chance to make a defensive stop on the other end of the floor. As Duke began to run its offense, the clock ticking down, the ball went to Jackson. Hall got in her face as Jackson attempted a 3-point shot that would have given the Blue Devils the lead. Instead, Jackson missed badly. Hall got the rebound, and South Carolina held on 54-50 to advance to its 5th straight Final Four. Its quest to repeat a national championship is still alive. I don't know if it could have happened any more perfect, Hall said, because it was literally like I messed up down there on the offense and then turned around and got the ball back on defense. I was very happy. The reigning national champions have certainly not made it look easy, nor have they made life easy on themselves. But if Sunday showed anything, it is the resilience that has been on display throughout the NCAA tournament. Trailing against Indiana at halftime in the second round, came back to win. Trailing in the fourth quarter to Maryland in the Sweet 16, come back to win. Each time, different players stepped up to make big plays in what has become a trademark to this championship run. But in both the Indiana and Duke games, South Carolina coach Dawn Staley relied on her starters down the stretch to get the job done. In addition to the big defensive stop from Hall, Chloe Kitts nailed 2 free throws with 5 seconds left to seal the game. It was a redemptive moment for Kitts, who missed 2 free throws late in the third quarter with South Carolina down 5. Chloe Kitts has revealed Dawn Staley wanted her to have the ball at the end of Sunday's game against Duke, allowing the players to deliver when it really mattered. Staley trust in Kitts speaks volumes as the player had missed 3 free throws earlier in the contest. Yet South Carolina's head coach backed Kitts, who produced a double-double during last year's victorious championship game versus Iowa, to hit the target. Kitts, who finished with 14 points and regional MVP honor, said Staley drew up the play for her after the missed Jackson 3-point attempt. Knowing Duke would have to foul, at first Kitts asked Papua, I'm sorry if I might jack that name up. I'm sorry, to be the ball handler. Worried about her earlier free throw misses, Papua refused and told her go get the ball. Staley has led South Carolina to 3 national titles and will be looking to add her 4th next week in Tampa on Sunday. She took a moment after the final whistle to praise the crowd in Birmingham. "You made us feel special," Staley said. You put women's basketball on the map. If y'all get a bid again, I hope we are here. This topic right here for me, this really not a topic I would say. This for me, I put down as this is like a Dawn Staley appreciation topic, really. I just admire everything that she's done since being with the program since 2008. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I wasn't old enough to actually watch Dawn Staley play WNBA basketball, actually play as a player, but I've been able to witness her whole transition as being a coach. And what I can just say is I love the job that she's doing. I got to give her flowers. The job that she's doing in South Carolina, the confidence that her players show through her, the confidence that she gives to her players. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing, the things that she's done. I know a lot of the times we like to give credit to, players like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. You got Juju Watkins, what she was doing this year. But I think Dawn Staley should be at the top of that pedestal as far as resurrecting women's basketball. Like, you don't even have to, a lot of people don't even watch women's basketball, but they, tune in to watch South Carolina. And I think that's all on Dawn Staley. Don't get me wrong. The players are amazing as well, too. But just what she's been able to do, the players that have came through that pipeline and now went on to the WNBA to become superstars, and just what she's created there. She's created a juggernaut. If you have a young daughter that's hooping right now or looking to, want to get into playing basketball, it's nowhere in the world I wouldn't want to send my child to go play for Coach Dawn Staley. It's just been awesome. And to be on the to go to 5 straight Final Fours, that's an amazing accomplishment. Let alone, I know people, I'm not going to keep her in a box as just one of the best women coach, I feel like she's the best college woman coach of all time, but I'm not putting her in that box. She's one of the greatest coaches of all time, period, point blank. That's for women and men. To go to 5 straight Final Fours and have a chance to be a repeat champion. Mind you, if they wouldn't have lost to Caitlin Clark the year before last, I believe that, we possibly could be talking about a three-peat for South Carolina, under Dawn Staley. So I just want to give her flowers, man. I think she's been doing an amazing job. That's somebody who I admire from afar, just watching her and just the composure. I sat there and watched that game in the Sweet 16 against Maryland. And even though I was rooting for Maryland, as everybody know, I'm a Maryland fan. Just watching her composure, even when South Carolina was down, she never, you never seen any sense of worry. She never wavered. You know what I'm saying? And I think that confidence from her, it transfers over into her players. And I think this year is a lot more special because they've had to win tough. They've been battle tested this year. Throughout the regular season, yeah, they had some dominating wins, but in this NCAA tournament, they've been battle tested. Like I said in the notes, the game against Indiana, the Maryland game. These are games that they've been battle tested and they've been able to overcome the things that the adversity that have came their way. And I just love that, man. As a coach, her resume, you could put her resume up there with anybody's. I mean, look at this. 3-time NCAA Division I tournament champion, 7-time NCAA Regional Final Four, 9-time SEC tournament champion, 9-time SEC regular season champion, 4-time Naismith Coach of the Year, 4-time WBCA National Coach of the Year, 2-time AP National Coach of the Year, 4-time USBWA National Coach of the Year, 7-time SEC Coach of the Year. I mean, it's just, the list goes on and on. And like I said before, not to mention, Staley has coached the Gamecocks since 2008, and since then, she's helped produce multiple WNBA stars, reigning WNBA Finals MVP Asia Wilson, 2023 Rookie of the Year, Aaliyah Boston, Tiffany Mitchell, Alicia Gray, and the list goes on. And she had a quote saying, simple as this: "We produce pros," Staley said. "The very best in the league. And if that's not proof in the pudding, then this isn't the place for you. And I agree with that. There's no way you could watch that basketball team and that's not somebody that you be inspired by. And she put that gear on too. But just other than that, man, I just admire what she's doing. For them to be going to their 5th straight Final Four and have a chance to repeat as national champions. And I'm glad that, there hasn't been no pressure on her to, leave what she's created and what she's done at South Carolina to go and chase a WNBA job. No. Stay at South Carolina. If the opportunity presents itself and you find that to be something interesting, then I'm all for it. But I love what she's doing at South Carolina. Keep building that juggernaut. Keep competing for titles every single year, because what she's created down there is something special. And to be able to be a champion in your playing career and then transfer that over into coaching, I know it just got to be an amazing feeling. And I'm not even going to sit up here and say people don't show Dawn Staley love, because a lot of people show her love. But I just wanted to personally get on my platform and show her love. And hopefully one day I can sit down and chop it up with her, you know what I'm saying, on the pod. But I love what they doing down there in South Carolina. I wanted Maryland to beat them, but I wasn't mad at the results. It ain't even silently. I'm rooting for South Carolina just because of the love that I got for Coach Dawn Staley, and it's gonna be a tough one. They have definitely made the women's NCAA tournament has been just exciting as the men's NCAA tournament, and I'm so glad that the women are finally getting the recognition and that stuff that they deserve, and people are actually locking in and tuning in to what's going on. And I feel like Coach Dawn Staley is at the top of that, man. Yeah, the players play a part in it. Like I said, you had the Caitlin Clarks, you had the Angel Reese, you got the Juju Watkins right now. You got my girl at UConn. Name can't come off the top of my head, but they play a factor too. But I think when you look at it, Coach Dawn Staley should be at the top of that just for what she has produced out of South Carolina and the things that she's done. It seemed like she just gets better every year in and year out. So salute to her and everything that they got going on. I can't wait for the Final Four. You got UConn, UCLA, Texas, and South Carolina. This is going to be a hell of a battle, and I can't wait to lock in. But salute to Coach Dawn Staley. Salute to the South Carolina Lady Gamecocks for going to y'all 5th straight Final Four, and I can't wait to see what happens. Moving on to my next topic. So this has been a very big topic of discussion. We're going to switch over to NFL for a little bit, just a little bit. I ain't really been on my NFL because we got the draft coming up, so I'm about to get back in my NFL bag a little bit, but this week has been a focus about new rules coming into play and heading into next season with the owners and coaches and everybody meeting up. And the biggest topic that I heard coming out of the meeting is that there's some steam that there could be a possibility of the tush push being banned in the NFL. The famous Philadelphia Eagle play, the tush push being banned. The Green Bay Packers made a proposal to ban the play, and they're saying that it's been tabled. As of today, they say it's been tabled, but they made the proposal, it's been tabled, and they're saying that this possibly could happen because a lot of owners are on the side of banning the play. So this is what I got from it. The Green Bay Packers proposed to ban the tush push, popularly known. The Green Bay Packers proposed to ban the push sneak, popularly known as the tush push. Has support within the competition committee. A source with direct knowledge told ESPN on Sunday. Another source with direct knowledge of the competition committee thinking said the proposal would be hotly contested among the coaches, general managers, and owners as they gather for league meetings this week. The league office staff presented the rule proposal during the football operations meeting Sunday afternoon, and two sources in the meeting described the back and forth as heated regarding the proposal to prohibit an offensive player from pushing a teammate who was lined up directly behind the snapper and receives the snap immediately at the snap. During the Sunday's afternoon session, Philadelphia Eagles general manager Howie Roseman, assistant general manager John Fieri, and two head coaches on the competition committee, Sean McVay of the Los Angeles Rams and Sean McDermott of the Buffalo Bills, gather in a hallway outside of the ballroom to have a private and animated side conversation about the Packers' proposal. Packer head coach Matt LaFleur has not spoken publicly about the team's proposal and declined to comment on it when approached by ESPN on Sunday afternoon. Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst also declined a question from ESPN on Sunday. I'll leave that for someone else to talk about, he said. Green Bay listed 2 reasons within the proposal to prohibit the play the Eagles have made famous: player safety and pace of play. Multiple sources who have been in competition committee meetings about the play told ESPN there was no injury data to support the ban, but rather a hypothetical conversation centered on potential injuries. The league presented the injury risk of the push sneak based on data modeling, saying defensive players are at risk while launching head first, and offensive linemen at risk because of their bent posture operating in a narrow window, which could lead to neck injuries. It's not backed by data, one club executive said. It was all subjective. Another source in the competition committee meeting said it's not about player safety, it's just a different play and it just looks different. My take on the whole thing about the proposal, about the possibility of them banning the play and everything like that, I think if they ban the tush push, it's soft. I think the NFL will come off as looking soft, and I think a lot of these owners, general managers, and some of these coaches will come off as looking soft. At the end of the day, it don't have nothing to do with player safety. They're going to make it about player safety, but at the end of the day, let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. People are mad because the Philadelphia Eagles were able to create a play, legally that benefits their football team. Nobody can stop it, and nobody can duplicate it. So now teams are upset trying to get it banned because they can't do it, and when they play Philly, they can't stop it. At the end of the day, that's soft to me. That's soft. You got to figure out a way. At the end of the day, a job of a head coach or of an offensive coordinator or whatever is to create something that benefits their team. Is to create an advantage. If it's not stepping outside the rules, I'm trying to figure out where the problem lies at. You have a quarterback that damn near can squat 600 something pounds with the best offensive line in football, and somebody pushing them behind. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what's the problem in that. You've never seen, show me one time. Only thing I've seen was now all of a sudden Chris Jones have a little neck stinger in the Super Bowl. But other than that, I've never seen nobody get seriously hurt while the tush push was being run. I've never seen an offensive lineman get seriously hurt, or I've never seen a defensive lineman get seriously hurt. People are just upset and are crying because they can't stop the play and they can't duplicate the play. Philly was able to come up with something to create an advantage for their team. I don't see the issue with that. Find a way to adapt and stop the play. When the Wildcat first was created, people had to find people struggled with stopping it. Eventually, they were able to stop it. When the read option came into play, people struggled with it at first, but eventually they found a way to stop it. You have to find a way to stop it. I feel like if the league just come out and say, you know what, we're going to ban it because owners, GMs, and coaches are crying about the play, that's soft. That's soft. We just watched Buffalo try to run it, 2 or 3 times in the AFC Championship game and get stuffed. So every team cannot run it. And I see a lot of people saying, well, you know, why don't every team just try to run it? Every team can't run it. That's where the problem lies. That's why people are upset. Everybody can't run it. Philly knows how to run the play to perfection. If the NFL comes behind and bans this rule, it's soft to me. It's soft. Like I don't get it. They created an advantage for their football team. The tush push wasn't the reason they won the Super Bowl. They blew the Kansas City Chiefs out. The tush push wasn't the reason that they won an NFC Championship game. Green Bay made the proposal. The tush push was not the reason that y'all lost to Philly, bro. Was it the wild card? Yeah, in the wild card. Y'all was going to lose to them anyway. Let's just call a spade a spade. Y'all was going to lose to them regardless. So you can miss me with the player safety, and we just want the players to be safe and pace of play. Stop it, bro. I mean, come on. Just because they got, like I said, they have the best offensive line in football. They have a quarterback who can squat God knows what, a large amount. And then they just added a running back who also can squat a large amount, who can come up behind him and push him. But the play was successful before they even got Saquon. But I'm just trying to figure out, all these years you've been allowing the play to go on. You might as well just keep it in now. I mean, I don't get it. That's the job of a head coach, offensive coordinator. That's their job, to find a way to create an advantage for their team. So if we talking about eliminating the tush push, any advantage that another team creates, then okay, then we should find a way. Then if teams find it unfair, then we should stop it. I guarantee you one thing: if Patrick Mahomes, if the Chiefs was being successful at the tush push, a lot of people wouldn't be talked about being banned. But I'm not even going to go there because you know how that can go. But, I mean, I just feel like it's soft. I feel like if the NFL does decide to ban it and these owners vote on banning the tush push, I feel like it's soft. Like, we got to – it's other things in the NFL that need to be fixed other than worrying about a tush push. How about reviewing these plays? How about – things of that nature. We talking about the tush, basically a quarterback sneak. Find a way to stop it, or your defense need to step up so they don't get shortened. They don't get shortened distance to be able to run it. But I mean, come on now. Let's be honest. We talking about banning the play. Let's be real. Banning that play. That play didn't help them win the Super Bowl. That play wasn't the reason that they beat Green Bay. They was going to beat Green Bay regardless. They steamrolled Kansas City. They steamrolled through the entire playoffs. So, I mean, I think the Rams game was a little close, but that was due to inclement weather. But other than that, come on, you got to miss me with that soft stuff. NFL, there's much more other things you need to be worrying about other than the tush push, and also not to mention taking away celebrations, you know what I'm saying, from guy. It's getting way too soft. You might as well tie flags around their hips and just play flag football. It's a physical sport. If you don't want to get physical or want your players getting physical, guess what? Every play is player safety. Two men running into each other at full speed pause is player safety. So it's football. The only thing they did was create an advantage for their football team, and it's benefiting them. So, I mean, let it go. Move on. Find a way to stop it. Draft bigger defensive tackles. How about that? Big boy coming from Florida, 300-something. Draft bigger defensive tackles. Get better defensive lines that could try to stop it. But until then, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, keep doing it. Let the play live on. If teams can't find a way to stop it, then oh well. Philly just will continue to benefit from it. It's as simple as that. Moving on to my next subject. So for my Maryland Terp fans, man, since Sunday it's been a rough 72, man. You got players transferring, you got players decommitting. It's been a lot going on. It's been rough since that Sweet 16 loss to Florida on Thursday. But it all started with Kevin Willard. Kevin Willard basically ended up doing what everybody knew he was going to do. Sunday morning, he accepted the Villanova job. It's been speculations all throughout the week, headed up to the Sweet 16, about the possibility of him leaving, going to Villanova. Was rumors saying that he was recruiting players for Villanova. Well, on Sunday, the cat came out the bag, and they dropped the bombshell. So Willard met Saturday afternoon with Villanova officials agreeing to a deal soon thereafter, sources told CBS Sports. Maryland scheduled a team meeting Sunday morning where in the meeting its players would be told Willard was leaving the program. Villanova basketball has a deep tradition of excellence and a culture that is second to none in college basketball. Willard said in a statement released by the school, "We are thrilled to be a part of it and join the Villanova community. The 49-year-old job swap makes the end of a public and messy saga that played out in part because Willard in the past week plus openly talked about his issues with the way Maryland funds its men's basketball program. He also never denied involvement with Villanova, where he became a rumor candidate a few days after Kyle Neptune was fired March 15th. Maryland was knocked out of the tournament in the Sweet 16 on Thursday night by top-seeded Florida 87-71. The Terps finished 27-9, their final win coming in the second round on a buzzer beater from Fab freshman Derek Queen. Willard walking away from Maryland felt more and more likely from within the program in the lead up to the team's game against Florida, sources said. Another source shared that Willard had been non-responsive to some influential Maryland people in recent days, which increased the frustration from Maryland's side. In choosing Villanova, a private school, which means it does not have to disclose contract terms, Willard is walking away from Maryland's offer, which was in the vicinity of $6 million annually, a source told CBS Sports. He's also fleeing from a situation that largely of his own doing had gotten exceedingly toxic as the NCAA tournament continued. With Willard's business being so out in the open, he became a pariah for Maryland supporters. Returning to College Park was not a desirable option. He's now an enemy for much of the fan base. Willard returns to the Big East, a league he coached in for a dozen years. Willard won 225 games at Seton Hall, but only won one NCAA tourney game. His Sweet 16 run with Maryland is the only time he's coached a team to the second weekend of March Madness. His career record is 335 and 249, which makes him above 500. While Kevin Willard's decision seemed obvious from speculation he would be leaving to go to Villanova, to Willard acting clueless following the Terrapins' loss to Florida, the Maryland head coach made his decision in the late hours while most people are sleeping. Willard informed Villanova he would accept the head coaching position there and leave Maryland after taking Maryland to the Sweet 16. Willard left College Park. The Terrapins will now launch a coaching search, and the Terrapins president and interim athletic director revealed in the press release they had offered Willard plenty of reasons to stay, from the contract extension, salary increase, and revenue sharing for athletes. Maryland did what it could to keep him with the Terps, but he walked away. And as of today, Maryland has hired new head coach Buzz Williams, former Texas A&M head coach. He's a two-time SEC Coach of the Year. He has a 1 Elite 8 appearance, 4 Sweet 16 appearances, 11 NCAA tournaments, and has 13-20 win seasons. So my thoughts on the whole Kevin Willard situation and everything like that, I just feel like Kevin Willard, listen, at the end of the day, you're a grown man. You can do whatever you want to do. You make your own decisions. You have your household. You got your wife, whatever the case may be. I think it was a sucker move by Kevin Willard, the way he went out. The reason why I feel like it was a sucker move is because leading up to one of the biggest games in amplitude of years for Maryland, you made this whole situation about you. First coming out, all that stuff could have been done behind closed doors. How you felt that the funds were being dealt between the basketball team and the football team, and what you wanted more of and what you expected more of from the program. All that could have been done behind closed doors. For you to come out and state your claim to the media, and then when they shoot questions back at you, you made the whole thing about you. You could have shot the rumors down as soon as they happened and done that after the tournament was over. For you to wait till the week of the Sweet 16, you not show up to the team dinner that believed the night before, and then not even have the courage to show up in front of the players and let them know that you're accepting the Villanova job. I just think it's cowardly. I think it's a bad look on you. And, I mean, maybe he doesn't care, but I understand. And me, as a Maryland fan, I will understand why the fans will feel the way that they feel. I mean, it was so bad to the point I seen fans not even wanting them to coach the Sweet 16 game. I seen fans booing them on their send off. It was just bad. It was completely bad, and I think he brought it upon himself. He brought it upon himself. I mean, you've been coaching for, I believe it was 18 years, and you've been to one Sweet 16, and that was just with Maryland. So, I mean, for all you Villanova fans, and I understand Villanova has been down for a little minute. So, they probably are happy because he did, I give him credit where it's due. He did come in and turn, you know what I'm saying, after what Turgeon did to this program. Kevin Willard did come in and, flip this thing around. But, I mean, just the way you went about it, I feel like you could have had more respect, not just for the program, but for the players. I mean, it's just it's just been a domino effect since this transpired on Sunday. Jacoby Gillespie entered the transfer portal. Rodney Rice entered the transfer portal. Derek Queen is headed to the NBA. Juju Reese, he's a senior. Selton Miguel, Maryland, they got decimated within a matter of days. They lost their whole starting five and majority of their bench. So it's bad. I'm hoping that this new coach, Buzz Williams, can come in and, get this thing, try to keep it afloat. But the way Kevin Willard went out, I believe it was just a sucker move, to make this whole thing about you when it's supposed to be about the players. I just think that's a bad look. And to all you Villanova fans who out there that's happy and clapping and hitting your pom-poms, he did the same thing to Maryland. It's no telling what he'll do to you if things don't go his way. But, I mean, I do feel like that Maryland is a basketball school and more resources should be put into the basketball program. And this is not the poo-poo on the football team, but let's be honest. I mean, the football team is not really nothing to be too much excited about. I mean, I'm always going to be excited for them and represent them because that's my team. But these past couple of years, I mean, they haven't really given you too much to be excited about. The basketball team, on the other hand, I believe they can be a powerhouse in college basketball, but we need the funds. I mean, that's understandable. These players want to get paid. The NIL has done a sweep through. These players want to get paid. Some players, they talking about $1 million to $3 million they asking for in the transfer portal. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to spend that money. And, I mean, hopefully Maryland sees it now and they try to give this new coach all the resources that he needs so he could build this thing up. But right now, it's looking pretty bad and it's looking pretty dim. I like the hire. He has a pretty decent resume, so I'm going to give him a shot. But the whole Kevin Willard situation, I mean, it was just bad. And I think the timing was just terrible. And I really think Maryland called his bluff. I believe when he went out there and made those statements about how he felt about, how the funds and stuff were for the basketball program and things of that nature and the resources and all that, I believe he thought Maryland was just going to say, you know what, we don't have it, go ahead and move on. But Maryland actually did what they needed to do to try to increase your salary and give you all the resources that you needed to go out and do what you needed to do to build off of this year. And I think they called his bluff and he was stuck. He didn't expect Maryland to do that. He didn't expect Maryland to do that at all. And I think it kind of shocked. Trust me, he was planning on taking the Villanova job all along. The writing was on the wall from Jump Street. That's why every time he was asked a question about it or it was brought up, he tried to switch the subject. But he never, throughout this whole thing, he never shot it down. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Maryland got to move on. Villanova, you guys got your new coach, so we'll see how it turns out. But I'm going to tell you, though, you just put a huge target on your back because guess what? You got to go produce at Villanova. You got to go produce. So all that, this is going to take time. No. You did what you did. You like a thief in the night. You You signed over at night. You went over there. Now you got to go over there and produce. And we going to, trust me, us Maryland fans, we going to be watching very closely. And it's a couple of them, I ain't going to say it, but a lot of them, they going to be rooting against you. So I can't wait to see. But I just think the whole thing was, I just feel for the players because this was a special year. This was a very special year. This was a year that I felt when the tournament first started, I said, I said the furthest I seen Maryland going was the Elite Eight. I watched them all year. I said I could see the Elite Eight. They ran into Florida, which was a good team, but Maryland had chances to win that game. The second half they kind of came out flat, and Florida stepped on the gas. But through that first half, Maryland, it was a nip and tuck ball game. I was hoping maybe Elite Eight, Final Four, but this was a special year, man. Derek Queen is a hell of a player, and with that supporting cast, and just for that, in a matter of like days, for that to just blow up like that, man, it's hurt. As a Maryland fan, I'm hurt, but we gonna see what Buzz Williams got, and hopefully, they find a way to keep this thing afloat, and we not a dumpster fire for the next couple of years before we got something to look forward to in Maryland basketball. But Kevin Willard, you went out like a sucker, bro. I'm just going to say it for what it is. You went out like a sucker. And I can't even be mad at the players who decommitting and, transferring because I get it. This is what college sports is now, period, ever since the NIL has been introduced. So it is what it is. But that's my thoughts on that whole situation. But I'm a Maryland Terp forever, so we gonna see what happens. And trust me, man, all my Maryland fans out there, we gonna keep our heads up and stay strong, and hopefully we gonna right this ship. Moving on, last but not least, I want to give my Final Four predictions to who I think will be in the national championship game. This first game was kind of hard, but I'm gonna go with. So you got Florida versus Auburn Tigers, and I think that's going to be a hell of a ball game. I like what I seen from Auburn against Michigan State, but in this game, I took Florida just because I think Florida has had an amazing tournament. I like what they've been getting from their guard play, and boy, that Walter Clayton Jr., he's a dog. I just want to see him on that big stage. The things that they've been doing. Auburn is that's gonna be a tough game. I can see that game going either way because I like what I seen from Auburn. That big man that they got, I can't think of his name right now, but he tough. But I went Florida over Auburn, and on the Duke game, Duke versus Houston, I went Duke over Houston. I just think nobody has been able. I got Duke winning the whole thing. I just think nobody has been able to match Duke this year. Their length, physicality. You already know Cooper Flag. And what you getting from those other guys, I don't see nobody beating Duke. I think Duke is going to win the whole thing. I seen a lot of people upset that I think this is the second time. It's been a long time since all one seeds made it to the Final Four. But I mean, hey, it's like I said before, the NIL deals, and we probably ain't about to be seeing too many more upsets left. But I mean, hey, the good teams, the best teams came in and performed the best. So that's what happened. But that's my Final Four prediction, man. I got Florida over Auburn, and I got Duke over Houston. And I believe we'll have a Florida and Duke national championship. And I got Duke taking the whole thing. Cooper Flag comes in as a freshman and wins the national championship. And that's my prediction. But we got to wait to see what happens. We got an interesting weekend coming up. With the men's Final Four and the women's Final Four. So I can't wait, man. I can't wait to tune in and watch it. It's been a hell of a tournament on both ends, and it's been a lot of fun to, cover and just talk about these past couple of weeks. So I can't wait to see what unfolds with that, man. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. Like I said, man, episode 40, man. I'm 40 episodes in. I just ask y'all, man, just keep rocking with me. Keep letting me know y'all, giving me y'all feedback, letting me know how y'all feel. Continue smashing that subscribe button to all my new subscribers. I welcome y'all, man. We on our way to 300 subscribers. Also, do not forget to like and share the content like I said before. And also, Follow me on all social media platforms. I'm about to start getting active on that X too. I haven't really started getting that active on it, but I'm going to start getting active on that X, man. But once again, y'all already know I appreciate y'all. Continue rocking with me. Continue tapping in. And I'll see y'all next time.